So, some of you may recognize this as the homepage for Pokemon Showdown. There are many servers on this homepage, including the official server. There's a server right here, the Battle Tower. It's a very cool server. There's no lag. And when I say no lag, there's no lag. Like, there's 2 battles going on at any given time. And, let's just say there's tournaments quite often held, and I just entered an OU tournament, and I got 3 actual really good, solid OU games that I want to share with y'all today. So, let's not, that's the word I'm looking for, stall any longer. Let's get into these battles. So, looking at the team preview here, this is the round 1 matchup versus JD. I have Glistertran, and if I haven't explained this team to you before, it is weatherless balance, basically. I have a stall core between Gliscor, Gastrodon, and Heatran. Heatran has my rocks, and Glistro, I'm just going to call them by their short forms, it's so much easier for me. Glistro is a really cool stall core because water moves, ice moves, obviously Gastrodon can take, and fighting moves and just powerful, like, metagame moves in general, Gliscor can generally take. And Keldeo has to lock itself into a move, which is by Gliscor, and Heatran both have Protect because I then can see what move Keldeo locks itself into and react appropriately. I also have a secondary check to Keldeo, and a kind of a setup sweeper in Latias, Sub-CM. I also have a Scarf Keldeo and a Choice Banded Sizzler with a little bit of speed, so I can outspeed Tyranitar, outspeed Heatran, and stuff like that, so I can get the kills on those without getting roasted myself. Anyway, looking at his team, he has Standard Rain. I didn't think I was going to win this matchup because his team looks threatening as hell. Like, it's just Standard Rain. That's really all I can say about it. Anyway, let's get into this battle real quick. I can't share these replays because I'm on a different server, so it's not going to find... It's going to fail when I try to upload the replay. And on top of that, these battles move really fast, so I might not be able to say everything I want to, but I'm going to try my hardest for you guys because these are interesting battles. I have no other way to post them. Anyway. Let's get into this first game here. I lead off with Sizzler because that's my lead on this team, and I'm just gonna bank on the fact that he's not Scarf, and I'm gonna crit on the first turn as he switches into his Terrakion. I'm gonna go right out to my Gliscor, get the Toxic Orb activated, and I'm just gonna go for an Earthquake. Horrible move, like, hello, I didn't go for Sub, I didn't, whatever. I'm gonna go for the Protect on the obvious Scarf, apparently. He misses Hydro. I'm going to go with the Gastrodon because I realize, hello, I have a Gastrodon and completely counters most Rotoms unless they have Trick, which this one doesn't. It seems to be just your average standard Rotom Wash, old reliable, and I'm going to Earth Power, predicting him to switch out, and then I go for Toxic because I realize he's just going to stay in. And I believe right here I go for the Ice Beam, predicting Latios like an absolute, look at that play. Look at that play. Yeah, that just happened. That just appeared on your screen. Anyway, I'm going to predict, obviously, Draco or something. Switch out to my Heatran. Lately, Draco has been missing a lot. And I mean a lot. Like, the other day, I had a Ubers game where I missed 3 Dracos. My opponent missed 1. The other day in OU, I had a couple Dracos miss. And here, I've had a Draco miss. Like, just lately, Draco's been missing a lot. Anyway, I set up my rocks as he goes for the Draco. Then I roar him out. I roast the Sizzle right there. I'm running Flamethrower over Lava Plume just so I can do that. Kill Sizzler after Rocks and Rain. And it works. It literally does 88% to him minimum. And he's obviously at 87.5 after Rocks, which means I always get the kill on Sizzler. And he brings in Rotom Wash, and I protect to see what he's going to lock himself into, even though he's actually not Scarfed. And right here, I'm just going to go for, I believe, the Recover, right, because I wanted to get some health back. And he predicts me to switch out, and I just stay in and recover. I also have Earth Power. I don't know if he was expecting that or not, or maybe he was expecting a Scald not to break. Maybe I had Ice Beam Scald, that's what he was thinking, but no, I have Ice Beam Earth Power. I prefer Earth Power. Anyway, right here, I'm just going to go for the Earth Power again. I don't really have anything else to do. And here, I thought the switch into Heatran was really obvious, and he was going to go for Surf, so I was going to stay in. But I go for a cover just in case, and it turns out Psyshock does pretty much nothing, but that doesn't mean I don't want to take it. I'm going to go into Sizzler, and he gets a crit Draco. Like, what? What are the odds? I need this thing for Terrakion, otherwise I lose. So I'm going to switch right back out into Gastrodon, because I know I can take any hit. And here's a beauty play. Predicting them to be Resto Chesto, I'm going to use Toxic, as he's already Toxic. And look at this play, ladies and gentlemen. Bam! 2 beautiful, beautiful plays with Gastrodon in the same battle. As that Rotom goes right back to having pressure on it. He's forced to switch out, and I believe I go for the Ice Beam here, just in case he wanted to go back out into the Latios, and it's just gonna die. I'm down at about half, and I thought he was gonna bring Track, but he doesn't. He brings in Rachi. I'm gonna recover up, and here again, he predicts me to just switch out, being scared of his Rachi, and I'm not. I was scouting to see if it was Sub-CM, because I still have Heatran lying in the wings with Roar. He's gonna rest right away, and right here I'm like, you know what? He just rested. He gave me a free turn, and I'm gonna go into the Latios. I'm gonna set up a sub, and he's still staying in. And I really have no idea what he's doing, especially after I set up a Calm Mind, and he doesn't Volt Switch out. He wakes up and goes for the Hydro. I'm like, thanks for the game, bro? At this point, he can just go out into Terrakion. I should have really just went for the Dragon Pulse there. It would have been my game if I did, but instead that allows him to get off a Stone Edge before I kill him, because I run more of a defensive spread. It has more HP and defense, and a little bit of speed. I think I reached like 275, enough to outspeed Smeargle and Heatran and stuff like that. Anyway, he goes out into Rachi, and I'm predicting the T-Wave or Body Slam, but he actually goes for the Thunder because he's in Rain, and as I switch out into my Gliscor. I was just kind of thinking, like, Gliscor is useless against the rest of his stuff anyway. I might as well let it die, just take the Water Pulse just in case, and I go for the Earthquake. He actually sets up a sub, which is great that I did. I'm going to go for a sub on the switch, because the Rotom switch was really obvious, and it turns out here, I looked on the turn before, and I'm faster, so I'm just going to sub-stall him all the way out of Hydro Pump. He's going to miss one eventually. I can sub, protect, sub, it doesn't really matter what I do. He's going to be out of Hydro Pumps rather quickly, and I doubt he has HP Ice. He doesn't have HP Ice. He's going to have an Electric move, Hydro Pump, Rest, and Will-O-Wisp. So I'm going to protect here. I guess he predicted me to keep subbing, and right here he's going to go for the Perish Song. And I'm going to send in Gastro. I go for the Toxic, just knowing that he's going to protect. I mean, I could have went for the Recover, but it really doesn't matter, because I know he's going to probably protect both turns. Not really sure why, but I mean, that's kind of what Pauly does. If you haven't noticed, Pauly's kind of been running around in the OU metagame for a while doing this kind of shenanigans with the Perish Song and Protect. And here I'm going to switch right out into my Scizor. No, I'm going to go right out. I'm going to go right back out into Gliscor, because I know it takes on both Rachi and Rotom perfectly. And I'm like, well, you wanted to Perish Song me out? I'm right back in here, bro. What you going to do? I'm going to go for a sub as he sets up a Calm Mind, and that's a little scary. I mean, it does prove that he is sub CM Rachi and Rain, which can just destroy teams, but I'm just going to Earthquake twice, and it's going to take him out. And at this point, really, he can't do much, because look at my team. I have a team of 6 versus his team of 2, and I can Toxic Stall / like, just stall this Rotom to oblivion. Right here, I make like a weird set of plays. I was still in such try-hard mode. I'm like, I'm gonna Toxic Stall your Rotom the whole way, like foot down on their throat, don't ever let up just in case. And then I'm like, oh wait, I have Gastro, and I can just sit in here and basically Toxic until I win. Because if he wants to go out into Politoed, he's gonna be instantly Toxic, and that's basically gonna be the game. So, I think it is at this point that he just forfeits because he realizes the game is lost, and there's a 6-0 for you to start off round 1 in the tournament. That was a good team he had. I got a little bit of luck there at the start with the U-turn crit on Terrakion, but to be fair, I was at +2, and that probably would have taken him out even without the crit damage later on in the game, so not too sure how vital it was to the outcome of the game, but it was still an interesting game. On to the second game here. I'm using the same team, and my opponent is actually Toxic Imperialism. Go for the sub. I asked him real quick to enter the tournament because they were short on people and I didn't feel like waiting, so I just logged on Skype and told him to jump onto the tournament, and he did. He is running a very interesting team. It's not too threatening. It just has 3 pony threats, and I don't like those. It has the Landorus, it has the Keldeo, and it has the Terrakion. I don't know if the other 2 are really ponies. They're the 3 Musketeer threats, and I don't like those. And it's just threats and threats and threats, and then he has Pharaoh, and then it's just going to be an annoying battle. Obviously, I'm just going to lead off with Sizzler, and they're just going to get right back into this one. He leads off with Meta, as I just go for a U-turn, and not really thinking he has anything to hit me with, I go into the Heatran, and it turns out he's tailored to try to take out Sizzler, and he goes for the HP Fire, but luckily I outsped because I run that offensive investment. Here, he tells me he's banded because we're on Skype, and I listen to him, I protect, and I'm like, okay, screw you, I don't like you anymore. I'm just going to set up my rocks because he was just in general, there was mind games there for the first few turns, and I quickly just kind of tuned out everything he's saying. But here, I'm going to predict him to switch out, and it's going to go for the Roar. I'm going to predict him to switch out again, and I'm going to go for the Roar again. Just kind of racking up Stealth Rock damage. Here, this is basically me knowing his team. This is a little unfair, but I know he is sub Landorus, and I don't want this thing getting a sub up, so I'm going to go for the Flamethrower. Stay in one quick turn. And now I'm going to switch out to Gastro. I know it won't like taking an EQ, but I can probably live 1. and that's going to be my goal, and it does dead on 50, so after lefties I will be able to live this hit. And as much as I wanted to recover up, I believe that's what I do. Do I just recover up? That'd be a great play. Yes, I do. Okay, so I just recover up. He actually goes for the grass knot. He pulls that out of the bag, and I'm like, well, damn. It's not a crazy amount of damage to my Gastrodon. I mean, I can recover it off, but the fact is it put so much pressure on my Gastro that now I can't live the hit the incoming Landorus is going to deliver. So it forces me to switch out or sack it. So it didn't do too much, but it did just enough to force me out, basically. Anyway, I'm going to go to Latias. I'm going to put up a sub. I was predicting T-Tar, but I didn't want to aggressively switch right out into Keldeo and have him just sub and then me lose my Keldeo or take a ton of damage. Anyway, sub was the safer play there. As he says, go for the sub. Anyway, I go for the Toxic, predicting him to just be physical frickin' T-Tar, and he pulls out the Ice Beam, and I'm like, well, damn, okay, I think I just lost this battle. Go right under the Scizor. Bandit Scizor with a little bit of speed. I am loving that set right now in OU. Everyone just expects it to be max HP, max attack. No. I have some attack. Anyway, he crits me with the power up. Not sure how crucial it is, but I was kind of leaving this thing. I didn't want to switch right out into Latias in case he went for T-Wave, because I don't know. He wouldn't be that guy to run T-Wave, but he could be that guy to run T-Wave, and I didn't want to risk it. Didn't want to like lose this Latias, because now that T-Tar dies, this Latias gets to his team a lot. I know in order for me to get to his team, though, I'm going to need to stall him out of Gyro Ball. Because if he still has Gyro Balls left in the tank, he's just going to be able to break my sub at will. If he's down to just Power Whips and Leech Seeds and Spikes, then he won't be able to do anything. So right here, he makes a good play. He makes a good play Gyro Balling so that he forces me to roost and not sub on that turn. You saw it. It was 2 turns ago. He Gyro Balled again to make sure I had the roost, and I couldn't sub because I was at 12%. Anyway, I'm gonna get up to. I really thought, I'm like, why am I doing this? This is dumb. He's just gonna crit me. Now he's back up at 100. But I believe this was his last Gyro Ball right here, and that's why he went for a layer of spikes to save it. And right here, I believe I'm gonna go right back out into my Heatran and just get some momentum going back in my favor. There goes his last Gyro Ball. And I believe my Latias can freely come in on that, and that's just another thing you can set up on right now. I'm going to roar out the Keldeo once again, and for some reason I thought maybe he'd predict the roar this time and go for Leech Seed before it gets roared out, so I went for the Flamethrower to try to roast that Pharaoh. And it doesn't do that much. I do go for the Protect here, and this is again, I'm going to see what he locks himself into, and he goes for the Secret Sword, because Heatran, both of Keldeo's stabs are super effective against it, and I'd like to see if it's the water, I'll go into Gastro, and if it's the fighting, I'll go into Gliscor. But Gliscor is dead, and on top of that, he crits my Latias, and I'm like, well, damn, I'm running out of roost. I really don't want that extra damage on this thing, thank you very much. But luckily, he stays in, trying to go for the second hit. If he switched right out, I would have been in a bit of trouble. But he's going to go right back out in the Pharaoh here, and I'm going to go for the sub. And basically, I don't know if he has one. I'm pretty sure I stalled him out of him, but I'm going to roost up here. No, okay, I'm going to proceed to make sure and proceed to stall him out of any that he has remaining. And excuse me about that, but that's basically what's going on here. Nothing too mind-boggling. And right here I go for the sub again. He was predicting me to go for the roost, but I make a good play because I'm a good player. At least, no, I'm horrible at this game. But here's something fun. He misses one Stonage with his Bandit Terrakion. Would have broke the sub. So that's the thing. It allows me to get off a Dragon Pulse, which does 25% to the Terrakion every single time. Not to mention the 2 Stealth Rock switchings does 25% of that Terrakion. I go with the Gastro, and it just straight up kills. I was expecting it, if it was Scarf, maybe to live one from that range. I'm not too sure. But it should have been maybe a warning flag. I do believe, I go for the Superpower here, predicting Pharaoh, and this was a risky play. And it was what I do here is stupid. Basically, I go for the Superpower, predicting Pharaoh to come in on the Bullet Punch, and then I stay in, predicting him to want to sub up, predicting my switch. I shouldn't have done that, because Scizor would have been a huge, huge help later in the game, obviously, as you can see. Keldeo's kind of low, or Keldeo will be getting low, and Landorus is pretty damn low, and Terrakion can be OHKO'd by it, obviously. I choice banded Bullet Punch. Anyway, I'm going to go into Soul Sister and go for a sub, because Stone Edge only does 25% to me, which is pretty crazy to think about, actually. I'm just going to go for another Dragon Pulse here as he reveals the X-Scissor. Why, dude? No. Standard track. Get out of here. Stop. I should have, in theory, just gone for the Dragon Pulse there. to do a little bit more damage to him, but here I'm gonna roost, and I believe I stay in one turn to just see how much the Bandit Scissor is gonna do. No, I don't. Okay, I go straight into the Heatran. I'm surprised I didn't predict that switch, considering I have 2 pokes left, and it would be kind of beneficial to me to switch out to that Heatran. But he doesn't decide to predict that, and I'm just gonna be able to roar him out. He goes into his Landorus, and this one's way too obvious. He can't even, he can't sub. He has to go for the Earthquake this time. So I'm just gonna be able to get a free switch out into my Latias. And here, if I got the prior damage with the Dragon Pulse, no, sorry, it would be next time. But if I got the prior damage, he'd be at 6% right now. And here's where I stay in one turn just to see how much X-Scissor actually does. And it does a lot. Here, I believe he does predict my switch out to Heatran. But to be honest, the switch into Keldeo at this point really doesn't matter because of all the rocks damage. Sorry, voice crack there, but because of all the rocks damage it's been taking, I can protect once to put it down at 1%, and then I can just switch right back out into my Latias. And take the move with very little effort. And here's a number: 41%. Bandit Terrakion Stone Edge does 75 to 82 around there to the spread I have on Latias. He misses 1, which allows me to roost up. And to be honest, I would still be down to where Sandstorm can kill me if he hits this one, and he misses that one too, which is huge. To be fair, no, yeah, that's huge, because I would be forced to send a Heatran and he could just kill it off with Landorus if I died to Sandstorm there. But instead, I can go to Soul Sister and basically just set up. And if there was a way to speed up the video more than it is right now, I would, because it's basically me getting up to +2, finding out that I still can do absolutely nothing to Pharaoh, switching out into Heatran, killing it with a flamethrower, and then I believe he gives up. Or no, okay, the ending. He uses Stone Edge on my Heatran, and he doesn't kill it. And I can kill him off with a flamethrower. I'm like 5 turns in advance. I'm literally like 5 turns in advance right now. I apologize for how slow the end of this battle is. And I'm already at 18 minutes. I don't know if I should save the I don't know if I should I save the yeah, I'm gonna save the finals for the next video, because that battle was a battle in itself. And these two are pretty standard, good OU matches for one video. I mean, it's already up at 18 minutes. I don't know. I don't really want to make this video 25 minutes long. I'd rather have an 18 and then like a 10. If you know what I'm saying. Anyway, finally here I switch out into the Heatran on the Power Whip, and I'm just going to take out the last 2 team members with flamethrowers, and that's going to be the match. So I'm on to the finals. Tune in tomorrow, I assume. Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see any reason why I would not be able to upload the finals tomorrow. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Subscribe for some more content. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And I apologize for all the voice cracks. I'm narrating at about 2 AM. And yeah, I won't even go any deeper into that. Peace, guys.